Shalom, this is Falling the Shill. Welcome again to the run. And this is an important video I'm gonna do right here. Because see, one of the great things about this channel and about you subscribers, and some of you my friends, some of you from high school, some of you from college, is I have a lot of friends that are in the agricultural industry. We were in FFA together in high school. Not of the faith, but we still keep in contact. I have sisters, in this case, all sisters in this faith, who work in various levels of the food industry. Whether they are, they buy it, they're importing, and in this case, I got an email from a sister, faithful sister, who has been giving me information as far as how bad this food situation is. Well, what are her credentials? Well, I'm not going to give you too much, but I will say this. She is high up in a prominent, well-known grocery chain across this country. She is saying that the grocery store chain that she works for, she's high up, remember, they are no longer utilizing warehouses or distribution centers. See, the way the food goes is that, like say a Walmart or a lot of these grocery stores, they used to have a mini warehouse in the back of their store. They don't have that anymore. Now, the food leaves a distribution center or a warehouse, and that warehouse brings the food to the store. And then immediately, once it reaches the store, the food's taken off the truck and loaded on the shelves. I know this because, I do it. I'm around it every single day, so I know it. But now, the supplies are basically going to come straight from the manufacturer, straight off the ship, onto a semi-truck into the store. Because the warehouses are empty, and there's no need of having a warehouse because the warehouses have no food in them. They are empty. And they're placating and they're pacifying the people by having us distracted. And we're not focused on the real issue. The real issue is there is a food crisis coming. We're going to talk about this. This Shabbat, 7th day, at 5:15 Central Standard Time. Because a lot of people are in trouble. And I want to bless you, and I want to thank you, sister, for imparting this information to me so that I can share it. And she said to share it. So right now, my daughter is walking. Come here, Tootie. And this is something I was going to show in the video because this is important. This is important. So she's transferring one of our little chicks. You putting with the other ones? I hope you saw that. Because our household is going into uber food production. We are processing chickens. We are hatching chickens. And I'm going to show you a little snippet of that. You're going to hear some background noise because the generator was on because I was doing some metal work. And I use my generator to do metal work. But this food crisis is what they're not telling you the full story. They are not. They are lying to you. China is importing massive amounts of grains, legumes, food. They're buying it everywhere. I've heard reports that they're buying anywhere between 25 and 50% of the world's food, grain. The whole world's grain, depending on the report, anywhere from 25 to 50% of the grains are being bought up by China. See, this food crisis is devastating. I have friends who I went to in high school with, and they were part of FFA with me, and I was part of FFA with them, and they are a large farmer in Southern California, an onion farmer. He's saying the problems that are out here that aren't being talked about are way bigger than just, oh, there's not a lot of food in the shelves. He's talking about the problems that he's having. And I'll be sharing that on the live stream. Food. I have friends that work in food banks. Managers of food banks. And they're saying, I'm talking about over, that they work with a food bank that has over 250 locations across the country. They're saying that they're having to cut what they buy because food prices are getting too high. So the normal things that they would normally get for the food bank, they can't get anymore. So now they're being forced to either serve fewer people and get the nutrient-dense food, or they're forced to get less nutrient-dense food and serve more people. What you're hearing on television is not the story. Inflation is eating away at the dollar, and food, they don't have workers. People who have tractors are having a hard time getting tires for their tractors, parts for their tractors. Of course, we have the fertilizer situation. They can't get workers in to, even if you plant the field, who's going to go and harvest the fields? Because there's nobody out there to harvest them, because nobody wants to work. The stimulus situation has made people not want to go back to work. They don't want to go back to their job. And the problem is that many people, including people in this faith, depend on these grocery stores daily for their food. They depend on the grocery store stocking its shelves. And even what I do, I'm watching. And these shelves are becoming more and more sparse, and it's becoming more and more normal. Because they placated people, they pacified the people by excuses. And then, well, you don't have to worry about it. And now it's just normal, right? You go to your shelf, you're like, oh, they don't have that. Oh, no big deal. I'll adapt. Things will get better. Let me tell you, if you think that things are just going to get better, these prices likely are not going to go back down. In fact, they're going to go higher and higher and higher. And if you had problems in 2021, what's 2022 going to look like? And what changes have you made? What changes have you made? Are you making changes? Have you positioned yourself and put yourself in a position to make it through this situation? Or is it, oh, it's okay, because I'm not affected yet? You can have a garden. You can grow some food. For those on my Patreon channel, and I'm going to show y'all some things on this channel, the Falling on Shore channel, because we're talking about some things in the Patreon channel. I'm sorry for those who are on my Patreon channel. I'm going to do the propagation video on how to propagate fig trees, fig cuttings for more fig trees. In fact, I'm going to give y'all a little snippet. If you want to go to my Patreon channel, I have it. It's up. And we're going to be talking more and more things there and more things here about this crisis that we're seeing, because we don't feel it and see it today. And you should be feeling it. But the way we are, we become so desensitized that somebody could be socking you in the face. You're like, well, I don't feel it. Meanwhile, you got a black eye, a busted lip, and you're bleeding. I'm just going to show y'all a couple things. Just a couple. You're going to hear a generator again. I'm sorry. So you've seen our normal egg-laying birds. We got some over there. See, these give us ample amounts of eggs. Ample. And when the chickens get too old, that's why we're always constantly hatching chickens, and we'll show you those. We just rotate them. And the ones that are too old, they become food for the meat. We have the greens. We are in winter. We are almost in January right now. Look at this. Now, these are probably dead in a couple days or died off, because we have some pretty severe freezes coming. But they've made it this long. They've made it through 21-degree freezes. We have radishes and greens and turnips. Our freezer is stuffed, absolutely stuffed. They've canned and they have frozen so many greens that we're going to be set. The children will have great nutrient-dense food all winter. We have enough greens stored that we're going to make it through the winter, and we're going to have plenty to go into the spring and possibly the summer. That's how much we stored. That's how much we've stored. I'm going to show you a couple more things. For those on the Patreon channel, this is what we'll be working on. You see those propagated cuttings? You see that? You see this root right here? These are cuttings off of a fig tree. Those are cuttings off of a fig tree. And I'm gonna show y'all how I did it. And I have goji berries. Sorry, that's not figs. Those are elderberries. Those are cuttings off of an elderberry tree. I have figs. I have goji berries. I have pears that I started. I have apples that I start. All propagations. That's gonna yield food. Because that's what you need to be concerned about right now. Food. Not bullshit. But unless you're going to put the bullshit in your gardens and compost it down. One more thing I'm going to show you. And right here, we are at one of our incubators. One of our egg incubators. This is a very good incubator. It only takes 60 watts, and we run this off our solar. And not a problem with it at all. But as you can see, go ahead and crack that open. Let's see if you can see. You see them in there? Just recently hatched. We have 3 of them in there. Because we're always hatching these chicks. We take our eggs, we hatch them, we put them in, we have a secondary area where we keep them warm next to the wood stove after 2 days in the incubator. And then we put new eggs in there. Because it's food. And people are going to be suffering because they have chosen the life of comfort. They did not want to make the sacrifices. They did not want to, you can go and close it. They did not want to live in any way, be inconvenienced. And they're going to pay for it. Bad times are coming. And I truly hope you are listening. You take another one out?
I think all of them are.
Oh, okay. All right, come over here. Bring those over here. Here are some more that she's got. Look at these. These are going outside. Look at them. You saw the one she had. Now she's got 3 more. All of them we just grew. They're gonna go outside. And what we do is the hens we put in our coop. Go ahead. The roosters, when we have too many of them, we let them free range. And then once they get big enough from free ranging, we don't pay for the food. Because the meat's kind of tough if you let them free range because they develop a lot of muscle. We grind them down. Throw them on our grinder, make some ground chicken. And it's awesome. You gotta stop playing with your life right now. And I mean that with the utmost sincerity and respect. But those of us in this faith should not be caught unawares because of what is happening. I've got so much to say. I better end this video. I hope to see y'all Saturday at 5, I think it's at 5:10 Central Standard Time. We have a lot to discuss. We also going to have a live stream on the Disturbers of Israel channel on Friday night at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. I may do another video today. Anyways, bless y'all. I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope you're taking this shit seriously. Shalom.